A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and I'm going to be taking you for the next 1 hour, so do sit tight. Let's give you the news in detail. To start off, the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tanga Odoi has closed the party's expression of interest exercise for members seeking for the speakership race and the deputy speakership race at that for the 12th Parliament. The process attracted 3 contenders for Speaker and 16 for Deputy Speaker. Among the 19 hopefuls are outgoing Defence and Veteran Affairs Minister Jacob Maxons Oboth and the outgoing Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayewa.
It has been a busy day at the NRM Electoral Commission offices in Kampala as party members rushed to secure last-minute party stamps for the positions of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. The 8-hour exercise attracted a wide range of aspirants and party members.
The outgoing parliament has done so well, and as far as legislation is concerned, the outlook, the presentation, the demeanor, the image we have given to the public is lacking. We need to work towards rebuilding that image.
I promise you, as the Deputy Speaker, I'll balance the vote. I'll make sure every member of Parliament who is in that house is given a chance.
I look forward to having a Parliament accountable to the people, based on integrity.
To thank them for giving us the chance to express ourselves, but tomorrow, to all members of the Parliamentary Caucus who are the voters, to give me an opportunity to serve our Parliament and to make sure that we raise the bar. We want to raise the bar of the leadership of our Parliament.
The outgoing Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Thomas Tayewa, and former Minister of Defence and Veteran Affairs, Jacob Oboth, arrived in a coordinated appearance, walking side by side.
From Right Honourable Thomas Tayewa for the office of the Speaker.
Tayewa, currently representing Ruhinda North Constituency in the Mitoma District, is seeking a second term as Deputy Speaker, whereas Jackson Maxons Oboth, on the other hand, is making his first attempt to lead the political wing at Parliament of Uganda.
I'm ready to abide by whatever resolution comes from the Central Executive Committee of the party. Whoever the party chooses as the candidate, I will 100% support and give my all. I also pledge to support whoever becomes the Right Honourable Speaker, and it is very, very important for the deputy to ensure that they support the principle.
So at this point, it would not be necessary for me to pledge anything but patience, actually strategic patience, until the time comes when God will do what He is able to do. And I want to thank you for your kind patience.
Although the draw have reportedly been endorsed by the Patriotic League of Uganda Principal General Hoskan Elgaba, sources indicate that a Friday's SEC meeting unanimously guided them to formalize their ambitions, a move that has been widely welcomed by party members.
As I've come with impartiality, courage and fairness to the Parliament, I'll serve it so well in the terms of legislating.
I personally can't believe that we don't have women of substance in this Parliament who can take on the mantle of either Speaker or Deputy Speaker. So I'm here to stand for the plight of all the women in this country. We know men are good leaders, but so are the women.
It's only at a caucus, when all the members of the 12th Parliament, that a decision will be made.
I'm a master of security matters. I'm very good at military matters. I have qualifications in oil and gas. Which better person would you look for?
Although the party accepted Persis Namuganza's request, it is still waiting SEC's approval.
Because while we were in a Chankwanz, the chairman of the party received all of us and accepted us to be members who will always participate in all activities of the NRM as a party.
Ganza Persis from Bukono constituency Namutumba came to express interest outside the rules. We are allowed this, and we are going to take it to SEC.
By close of business on Saturday, 19 candidates had submitted requests seeking party endorsement signatures for the 2 top parliamentary positions.
The people whose names I've read will be vetted by the Central Executive Committee tomorrow, The Central Executive Committee sits at 9 a.m. Whoever will go through SEC after vetting, the ultimate is the caucus.
Robert Anyango, UBC News.
Furthermore, West Nile members of parliament have set the political stage for the 12th parliament, electing new caucus leadership and rallying behind Terego District Woman Member of Parliament Rose Obiga for Deputy Speaker. At the same time, the lawmakers are pressing for a stronger voice in government, demanding a bigger share of ministerial appointments in the next administration, as Sudat Kaye reports.
2026-2031.
West Nile legislators gathered at Parliament on Saturday morning, where they elected a new regional leadership team tasked with coordinating the region's agenda in the 12th Parliament.
We are duty-bound to serve the organization, the caucus. This caucus has a vision. It has been there, it has a history, and it has a vision looking forward. It has a mission for the 12th Parliament. It has aims and objectives.
The MPs elected Hassan Kaps Fungaro as their new chairperson, while Rose Obiga was chosen as vice chairperson.
The executive takes shape. A new cabinet is formed and announced to the people of Uganda. It will be good for Uganda, first of all Uganda, let alone the government in power, that they have people from West Nile among the members of the executive. West Nilers are honest people, and once they have taken an assignment, they take it for real.
During the meeting, legislators unanimously endorsed Obiga to contest for the position of Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
And I know God is going to touch His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. God is going to touch the SEC members to endorse me as the Deputy Speaker of the 12th Parliament. I have no doubt whatsoever. It is God's hand that has brought me here, and it's God's hand that has allowed the people of West Nile.
This comes as the ruling National Resistance Movement prepares to decide on Sunday who will carry the party flag for Speaker and Deputy Speaker positions.
But if the party says no, they will have their justifications. I will not fight with my party, but I know my lovely party that has seen West Nile vote a population of over 4 million people. They will not let me down. I am not against anybody, but I am speaking for that rural person, that marginalized person. I'm speaking for West Nile. I'm speaking for women.
The MPs noted that West Nile once produced a Speaker of Parliament in the 6th Parliament, the late Francis Ayume, saying Obiga's bid presents an opportunity to restore and strengthen the region's influence in national leadership.
You remember the late Right Honorable Ayume, Francis. The records are here, clearly speaking for generations and generations. That brain came from West Nile. Therefore, in the election for the speakership, West Nile has offered candidates, and particularly here we have a candidate for the deputy speaker position in the names and the persons of Honorable Rose Obiga.
Chairperson Hassan Kaps Fungaro said the region is now focused on speaking with one voice as it pushes for a stronger share in the next government, including securing a full cabinet minister position. In the outgoing team, West Nile was represented by 4 state ministers and 2nd Deputy Prime Minister. However, leaders argue that the region's growing support for the NRM warrants greater representation going forward.
As members of this caucus, pledge our total support for the people of West Nile in doing, 1, lobbying for the people of West Nile, 2, bringing up the issues which are affecting West Nile, discussing it with the government, looking for solution of the issues which are affecting our people.
We are the biggest caucus in northern Uganda. We are almost 40 members. We are bigger than the caucus of Lango, we are bigger than the caucus of Acholi, we are bigger than the caucus of Karamoja. But when it comes to dividing the national cake, mainly it goes to Gulu, to Lango, Acholi, and other regions.
The legislators also revealed plans to actively lobby for more parliamentary committee chairperson positions in the new parliament. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
And furthermore, Uganda's Ministry of Health has confirmed 5 active Ebola cases in the country, raising fresh concerns over the spread of the deadly virus across the region. Health officials say that the confirmed cases include a driver linked to the first Ebola victim, a health worker who handled the patient, and a Congolese national who has since returned to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Speaking during a high-level regional meeting attended by health ministers from several African countries, Permanent Secretary Dr. Diana Atwine said that the efforts are underway to strengthen cross-border surveillance and contain the disease.
Dr. Atwine made these remarks during a meeting that brought together ministers of health from several African countries, including South Sudan, Congo, South Africa, and others. According to Dr. Atwine, the meeting was aimed at discussing strategies to prevent and control the spread of Ebola across the region.
We want to see how we can, for example, work with DRC, and also to make sure that we internally strengthen our surveillance, and because what we are seeing is that still people are moving in the country, even when we put those restrictions, because we can't completely close the borders.
She further revealed that some development partners and donors pledged up to $214 million to support Uganda's efforts to fight and contain the spread of Ebola.
We're happy to realize that quite a number of partners have committed resources to support this epidemic. But the most important thing is really to lay strategy on how to approach this epidemic in a practical term, real practical terms.
Dr. Atwine also noted that plans are underway to support the Democratic Republic of Congo in controlling the outbreak, explaining that as long as Ebola remains active in neighboring countries, Uganda remains at risk.
We have realized that we cannot be safe, or no individual country can be safe when the neighbors are not safe.
She has therefore urged Ugandans to remain vigilant and strictly follow the Ministry of Health guidelines to prevent the spread of the disease.
The official outbreak confirmation was done by the different Ministries of Health, and then we have the cross-border importation in Uganda and the outbreak expansion that has been confirmed in the phase 3 with the regional spread.
They know that I'm like that. Since this outbreak started, I heard we already got around $350 million. Where is this money? I was in Ituri 2 days ago. I spent one full day in Ituri. Today we'll have opportunity to listen from the governor of Ituri. He will join online.
Ivan Juko compiled this report.
Outgoing Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Alupo, has applauded faith-based institutions for their continued contribution towards national development, peace building and socio-economic transformation in the country. Ms. Alupo revealed this at the 3rd graduation ceremony of the Queen of Apostles Philosophy Center in Jinja. These are the details.
Speaking during the 3rd graduation ceremony of the Queen of Apostles Philosophy Center in Jinja, outgoing Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Alupo, described the church as a key partner in promoting education, health services, wealth creation, moral values, and discipline among citizens. The graduation ceremony was held under the theme, Rooted in Wisdom, Set for Transformation Service. A total of 56 students graduated with degrees in Philosophy of Arts, Philosophy in Peace and Security, and Philosophy in Social Sciences. Alupo noted that the Queen of Apostles Philosophy Center, established in 1989 by visionary missionary congregations, has grown steadily after its affiliation with Pontifical Urban University in Rome and mentorship under Uganda Matters University. The outgoing Vice President emphasized that Uganda's youthful population presents both an opportunity and a responsibility for leaders in government and the church to nurture productive and disciplined citizens through education and skills development.
I implore you to emulate your notable alumni, Bishop Dominic Able, who has greatly inspired many hearts and served the society with humility. I thank you, Bishop, for the great work you are doing in Karamoja, especially in fighting against food insecurity. I've seen you in people's gardens. I've seen you meeting farmers. I've seen you requesting for tractors, seeds for the people of Karamoja, so that they can learn to work hard to produce food which is sustainable enough to make them live lives worth living.
Alupo added that institutions that combine academic excellency with moral values are vital for Uganda's future, saying the country needs leaders who demonstrate integrity, accountability, innovation and compassion.
Today you receive certificates and degrees, but more importantly, you receive responsibility. Society expects you to become ambassadors of integrity, wisdom, and service. The world does not only need brilliant minds, it needs trustworthy people. Uganda needs learners who reject corruption, promote accountability, protect human dignity, and work for the common good.
She further highlighted that the government of Uganda, under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, remains committed to socio-economic transformation through Vision 2040 and the national development plans, with a strong focus on peace, security, human capital development, and wealth creation.
The government of Uganda appreciates the work of faith-based institutions in the country in key areas of health, education, wealth creation, and building the moral integrity and discipline of the citizens, etc. Indeed, the government of NRM will continue working and supporting the programs of the Catholic Church.
The Vice President also commended the management and Board of Trustees of the Philosophy Center, lauded for its strategic plan to transform the institution into a full-fledged university.
Allow me to commend the management of the Board of Trustees of the PCJ for your long-term strategic plan of transiting this center into a university. This is timely and promising. I encourage you to continue strengthening governance systems, academic research, infrastructure, digital innovation, and partnerships, especially with the National Council for Higher Education and other stakeholders, to ensure that your transition into a university maintains the highest standards of quality, relevance, and sustainability.
Alupo expressed special joy over one of the graduates, Raphael Alemu from Ethiopia, who she described as a bridge builder between Uganda and Ethiopia during his years of study at the institution.
Today is also a personal joy for me, Mr. Chancellor and my Lord Bishop. Among us is my son, Raphael Alemu from Ethiopia. We have motivated our young people to understand opportunities available between our two countries and the region as a whole. I want to greatly congratulate you upon this milestone.
In his homily, Bishop Dominic Eibu urged the graduates to use their knowledge and talents in service to Christ, the church, and the wider community.
So therefore, my dear graduates, as you come out there, as you go out there to different places, bring with you a transformation that we expect of your studies. Be practitioners of the values learned from philosophy.
Meanwhile, Reverend Professor Maville John Chrysostom, chairperson of the Governing Council of the Philosophy Center, thanked Ms. Alupo for presiding over the ceremony and encouraged the graduates to remain connected to their alma mater as it transitions into a university. Kenneth Tanaba compiled this report.
And now to Kagadi, where tension and chaos rocked the first sitting of the newly elected Kagadi District Council on Friday, after a disputed speaker election ended in violent clashes among councillors. The incident happened during the swearing-in ceremony of the Kagadi LC 5 chairperson, Eli Gad Tumusime, as councillors gathered to elect the district speaker. Trouble started after the two contenders for the speaker seat, Magezi Jamada and Vincent Semuga failed to agree on the outcome of the vote. The disagreement quickly escalated into heated exchanges, with some councillors engaging in physical fights inside the council chambers, disrupting the proceedings. Following the unrest, the Chief Magistrate of Chivale Magistrates Court intervened and suspended the election process.
In the due course, when we are counting votes, of course, me, like Vetonda Ramwell, I was in for Semuga Vincent, and I'm the one who proposed his name. But during the elections, actually, per Local Government Act, Cap 138, somebody to be declared the speaker must have won or must have scored more than 50%. So the total vote of today, there were 65 voters. Those are the number of councillors. But
they were invalidated. So in summary, I was supposed to be the winner, but I thank God that the magistrate was able to postpone the election.
A job has been sold up to 50 million, 40 million. And so we are going to ensure that what people think cannot happen or cannot be done must be done.
Where the magistrate based on to extend the council up to 11th of June, when the Minister of Local Government, Raphael Magezi, wrote guidance.
The newly inaugurated Barara District Council has been challenged to work in unity to improve service delivery and fight corruption. The 30-member council, led by District Chairperson Haijin Tuonjirwe, was sworn in during the function officiated by the Commissioner for Local Councils Development in the Ministry of Local Government. Suizin Kinga Mojema, who represented Permanent Secretary Ben Kumumanya, Mojema applauded the outgoing council led by the former chairperson, Tabaro Didas, for steering development in the district and urged the newly elected leaders to build on that progress.
And shall uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and observe the laws of Uganda, and that I shall promote the welfare of the people of this district. So help me God.
Leadership is not about that title. It's not about being a district chairperson or being a speaker. It's about the value, the contribution you make in the community, in society, wherever you are living.
I made it clear, like this time, if money is for the Lord, it's for the Lord for the people. If it's for the school, it's for their school. If it's for the hospital, it's for their hospital. If you dare touch it, we shall not allow you. We shall not even wait for the IGG to come. We shall rescue ourselves and take it for us.
My appeal is, let's work together, let's fight corruption, let us identify people who are corrupt, and we deal with them. Then last on the safety of people and their property, it's unfortunate that the security is tricky these days. People are stealing coffee, people are stealing livestock, people are stealing matoke. But you know, my advice has been one on dealing with safety. Let us be more vigilant. Let us lay ambush. Let us get these people, and we work on them ourselves. Police cannot be everywhere. My fellow Ugandans, let us handle security by ourselves. Because they are known, like those who are stealing coffee are known. Those who are stealing cows and goats are known. What have we done? The only medicine is one. Get one person in action with the exhibit. Don't waste your time going to police. Police should come to correct the. Then we shall not be able to control this organized.
Uganda National Council for Science and Technology has released the National Research Infrastructure Survey indicating minimal investment by the private sector in research equipment. The Deputy Executive Secretary of Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, Dr. Martin Ongol, points out that the survey shows that government needs to interest the private sector to invest in research infrastructure.
Research infrastructure plays a key role in driving localized solutions in sectors like health, agriculture, and contributes to the commercialization of local innovations. However, the National Research Infrastructure Survey released by Uganda National Council for Science and Technology indicates that there is still minimal investment by the private sector in research equipment. For now, government remains the major investor in the research infrastructure, and according to Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, efforts need to be directed towards bringing the private sector on board.
In other countries, the private sector is actually leading in the provision and the construction of these research facilities. So I think for me it's mainly maybe like a knowledge problem, a knowledge gap that they do not know or they have not understood research the way it's meant to be done. But once we do that and give them a very firm understanding of what are the benefits, what are the accrued advantages of doing research, then maybe they can come on board. But right now, the private sector is very weakly investing in higher education.
The basic infrastructure for research is there, and we are seeing that the infrastructure landscape, especially in medical and biomedical sciences, is quite strong, and then it's also yielding some good results. Like for instance, out of the infrastructure that we have managed to produce an anti-tick vaccine that has saved farmers a lot of burden in terms of treatment of diseases, and one of that outcome is the launch which His Excellency did about 2 weeks ago.
According to the survey, there is also a need to promote the sharing of the available research infrastructure.
Different universities have different modes of sharing infrastructure. Some of them have open access, but that open access is not very well known by stakeholders. It is mainly on an individual person basis. But what we're trying to say in this work is that universities, if your equipment is accessible to other people, say so, share it so that people can come and access. But I think there's a big knowledge gap about who shares, who accesses, and the returns from that. So I think it is not sometimes the absence of research equipment, but it is how that equipment is being utilized.
It is hoped that robust research and equipment will support the government's Vision 2040 and national development plans by laying ground for sustainable industrialization.
The Ministry of Internal Affairs has pledged to intervene and resolve a dispute involving its staff and the management of St. Savio Junior School, Kisubi, over the handling of a missing pupil case reported last term. The school alleges that the staff member, who is also a parent, located his missing child but did not cooperate with school authorities or police in properly resolving the matter, prompting concern and escalation to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, which has now stepped in to address the controversy.
I would like to, we have been at the Ministry of Internal Affairs to follow up the issue of our boy, Katunji Victor, who escaped from school, and at some point he was found by his parent, and who works at Internal Affairs. So we had scheduled a meeting. A meeting had been scheduled for today, but it did not take place. However, we are grateful for the reception we received there. So, and the meeting has been postponed to be rescheduled on another date, such that the issue can be resolved once for all, such that the name of the school is cleared, because until now we have no proper story of what transpired from the time the boy escaped up to the time his parent received him. It's what we want to know, the details of that.
The man has continued to behave in a manner that is suspicious. Ordinarily, we were following up this matter together. We were looking for the boy together. We were all concerned. We did all what we did. The camera showed us the boy jumped out. But when you ask for all these days where the boy was, and when eventually he gets to find the boy, and he has not come to report, to come and share with us his experience, how he finally got there, we are only following things from the social media. So there are certain pertinent questions we want to ask. We want to ask when everybody is there, because ordinarily that parent should have cooperated to the end. After finding the boy, should have even involved us to go with him and see where the boy was. So that we are all together in this. But now he's keeping away from us, and there's so many things that we are reading from the press is not fair to us. That's why we want the truth, and when the truth comes out, we shall make a public statement.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima gukankana like drums. Kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda, La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UGPass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UGPass, your identity secured. Available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UGPass is a product of NITA Uganda.
So, Mchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later. Huh?
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
And in the world of business, the Mount Elgon region has for years grappled with severe environmental degradation driven by deforestation, soil erosion, siltation, and encroachment on wetlands and riverbanks. But there is a growing hope for the fragile ecosystem. Efforts under the Mount Elgon Restoration Project are beginning to bear fruit following intensified community sensitization and conservation campaigns aimed at restoring degraded landscapes and protecting vital water sources.
The slopes of Mount Elgon continue to bear the scars of years of environmental degradation, massive deforestation, wetland encroachment and cultivation along riverbanks have left the region vulnerable to soil erosion, flooding, and declining agricultural productivity. Authorities attribute the destruction to poor farming practices, particularly Irish potato growing, increasing demand for firewood, and rapid population growth, all of which have intensified pressure on land resources.
Now, people have cut trees, the elephant grass from the river banks. Now, you find that the water now erodes the soils and widens the banks. So you find that as leaders are trying, but people cannot listen because there are more of maybe planting these horticulture crops along the rivers.
However, there is renewed hope for the fragile ecosystem through the Mount Elgon Restoration Project funded by the Global Environment Facility through the United Nations Environmental Programme. Efforts to reverse the damage are beginning to yield results.
And people have been sensitized and have now embraced the program.
As environmental challenges continue to threaten livelihoods in the Mount Elgon region, stakeholders say collective action and community involvement will be critical in restoring and protecting the fragile ecosystem.
The nucleus, scientifically, it is the center. It is your home. And if every home starts locally, it will radiate. The diameter keeps on expanding until the whole ecosystem that is accessible is properly utilized and managed.
Nonetheless, some residents argue that conservation initiatives should be accompanied by tangible incentives to encourage communities actively participate in environmental protection.
One thing that we're able to analyze is that there exists a gap between the current solution incentive towards the local communities and what people actually adhere to. A lot of times when people come to our communities and advise us, they tell us it is good that you plant a tree today because you're going to save your children who will come in the future. And a lot of our parents and a lot of our people within our communities don't understand what the long-run benefit is supposed to look like. A lot of them care about how to survive today.
Engineer Maximo Twinomhanje, who represented the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Water, emphasized that community participation remains key to the success and sustainability of the restoration efforts.
Only through the deliberate efforts of conserving biodiversity that we can sustainably use the same for socio-economic development of the people of Uganda.
The International Day for Biodiversity 2026 was commemorated at Bukia in the sub-county in Mbale district under the theme Acting Locally for Global Impact. Susan Naonga reporting for UBC TV.
Common 50 series, perfect snap, any zoom. Enjoy 9 GB free MTN data valid for 3 months. Available in any Techno or MTN outlet near you. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Uganda's powerlifting team has registered impressive performance at the Africa Open Powerlifting Championships in Algeria, with several athletes bringing home medals and strong rankings in their respective categories. Let's have a look.
8-kilogram category, Mazira Dennis secured second position in Africa after lifting a total of 520 kilograms.
Thanks for your support. As I promised that we are ready to put a good competition, we have made it. My team and I achieved these medals. We are so happy as Ugandans in this game of powerlifting. And so happy. I don't know how I can explain, but I'm so happy.
Coach Kenneth Sekiranda summarizes the relevance of this outing.
Remember, this competition, it was a trial on our side, on Team Uganda. It was a trial for trials for Commonwealth Games. This is a qualifying event for Los Angeles 2028. I'm sure my athletes managed to gather points for Los Angeles. They have managed to get enough experience on the coming event of Commonwealth Games in Egypt.
Meanwhile, Sebagala Ismail won a bronze medal in the 72-kilogram category with a total lift of 502 kilograms. In the women's competition, Zaweja Rebecca earned a silver medal in the 86-kilogram legendary category after lifting a total of 140 kilograms. Also representing Uganda, Nakayewe Janet competed in the 67-kilogram category and managed a total lift of 120 kilograms, unfortunately finishing without a medal.
And that brings us to the end of our UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. Do catch us tomorrow, same time, same place. And we do wish you a lovely night.